we have the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants. Whew, man, I gotta stop doing whew in the middle of these games that I'm not prepared to talk about.
Okay, well, I think I am, and I just want to say that it's kind of amusing that I'm pretty sure Rashad Jennings was their leading receiver and rusher in this game.
Yeah, which is
For the Giants.
and Odell Beckham Jr. actually still had a good game despite all that.
Yeah. I guess it was the touchdown that really put Jennings over the edge. He only had 2 receptions, but he had a touchdown.
Yeah.
54 yards and a touchdown.
And the one where he just completely stiff-armed that
right.
out of the way.
Well, Odell Beckham Jr. actually had another. It almost mirrored his famous catch that was actually.
It went out of bounds.
That didn't count. Yeah, it was out of bounds. So, if that would have counted, he would have had an even better game.
Right.
But the Bills. You know what? This was one of those games where I kind of had a similar opinion of both teams. As far as like looking at potential. I know I had the Giants winning the division, but I kind of had them about on the same level as the Bills as in the wild card spot, like the equivalent of each other talent-wise and just skill-wise and kind of the way they're playing. And the Giants, they got an impressive win, I think.
They did. And there's 2 questions I have where they got the win from, neither of which I don't know the answer. The number one is, are the Bills' defense not up to their hype that they had?
Thus far, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's easy to say. Now, where they pick it up and get it together by the end of the season, I mean, there's still a lot of football left.
There is.
But thus far, no, they're not.
I think the craziest thing is, now looking back in hindsight, you go week 1 against Indy and completely destroyed them, and people are like, holy shit, this is the defense that's going to be like the top notch, the defense that you have to beat this year. Now we find out that Indy just isn't really that great, and the Bills
might have had more to do with Indy not being as good as we thought.
Right, and that's pretty much it. Now I think we're finding out that the Bills' defense isn't as good as what we thought it was, and I think the other big factor that contributed to all this is that the Giants realized that after going 0-2, Cowboys seem like they might be out of the shot to catch up to, that this is where they gotta keep making wins. So I think the Giants are more motivated than they have been since week 2.
Hey, the first 2 weeks went bad, but in the 2 weeks since, everything's fell their way. They've gotten all the right breaks, and now all of a sudden they look screwed after 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that just shows you why you can't. That's why there's 17 weeks in a season, not 2.
Yeah.
You can't judge a whole season based on the first 2 weeks, and not even the first 4 weeks, because there's going to be teams more than likely that kind of surprise us with some wins and maybe even come into contention.
Yeah.
So, I actually predicted the Giants to win the division, and I think that obviously that doesn't sound crazy.
It doesn't sound crazy at all, because they're playing like they want to win it right now.
Right, and I still think that Eli's playing good football. Odell Beckham Jr. didn't have a huge game, but he'll have some huge games.
And you know what? I think the craziest thing is, I feel like Eli is starting to heat up, and whenever Eli heat up, he usually he'll make the playoffs, and he usually goes to the Super Bowl if he makes the playoffs. So
when Eli's good, he's just as good, maybe better than his brother.
Yeah, I mean when he's
at his best.
Yeah.
He's just inconsistent, wildly inconsistent over the years. But when he's hot, man. Like, not even Tom Brady could beat him twice,
Right.
So.
And this might be Eli starting to heat up now, and He threw it to, I think, 7 different receivers this game.
Something like he spread it around a good bit.
Yeah, he's spreading the ball around, which is really well. And think about when they get Victor Cruz back.
That was actually what I was wanting to say next. Yeah,
right.
I've harped on it a little bit, but if Cruz, like I've said it multiple times, if he's half the receiver he used to be, he's a solid receiver. So,
right.
Everything looks good for the Giants right now. They just need to not fuck it up, you know? Which they're prone to do. So,
right. And we talked about this in the other videos. You know, for anybody who wants to go watch those, that with the NFC,
nobody.
Brian, our one viewer.
Yeah.
Well, if going into the NFC East, you gotta think that, you know, Giants are now on the big uprise. Cowboys seem to be on a down slope, but you know they could always still try to turn it around. Philly, as you mentioned, is not even necessarily out of contention.
Right.
You know, it's fortunate for the Giants right now, but what gets me reminded me of all is when you said don't fuck it up. Like, you know, it sounds easy right now after winning 2 big games in the last 2 weeks, but you go to week 10 to week 12, and if you're still playing like this during that time, it's like, yeah, that sounds easy, but if you're not and you're struggling, then we'll see.
Well, that's the thing.
You're
You're getting hot, and if they're getting hot, it might be a little too early. You'd rather get hot late in the season than in the middle of the season.
Definitely, yeah. You don't want to cool down at like right before playoffs.
You start showing your best this early, and then maybe people have time to figure you out.
Right.
You get hot late in the season, they don't have time to figure you out.
Yeah.
You win the Super Bowl twice.
Right.
The most impressive thing I think out of the whole story is that Tom Coughlin, as old as he is showing he's not done. He's still got it, which is really rare for a coach of that age. Usually they can adapt. The game changes around them. They get lost, and they're done. And Tom Coughlin, I'm really impressed with his ability to adapt and change and roll with the flow and just go with the times. And that's why he's been relevant. That's why he's got rings. And, I mean, he's a Hall of Fame coach, in my opinion. Easy.
I'll agree with that. Big time. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. And if he doesn't get nominated for Hall of Fame, I would be extremely surprised.
I mean, first year, I think he should go in, easy.
Oh, definitely. I agree with that on a lot of different reasons why. And, if you want to cross-reference for earlier this week, if you want to watch our Chiefs and Bengals video, what the difference is, we talked about Andy Reid, how he's not adapting to the way that the NFL is evolving.
Right.
And I think the best example I could put is that I feel like Andy Reid still has like a flip phone, and Tom Coughlin just got his iPhone 6, and he might not be able to be the fastest texter, but he can keep up with everybody else.
But he's got it, baby.
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah.
That's funny. I don't know. I'll give Andy Reid more credit than that. He's got like an iPhone 3 at least. He's done some adaptations since
I almost
1990.
feel like having an iPhone 3, people will make fun of you more for having that than a flip phone. So like a flip phone is almost like a status in itself to be like, I don't even need technology.
It's got a razor.
Yeah. Bring it back like 2000.
I don't want to get caught into high school here.
Right.
So. But yeah, the Giants play the 49ers next week. And that's really going to be a game that, at this point now the Giants are supposed to win that game. Maybe 2 weeks ago they weren't. And so they're going to have to really show that they can keep this fire lit up under their ass now that they're playing a game that they're supposed to win.
True. That is true.
Don't fuck it up, guys. Actually, I'm liking what the Giants are doing right now. I'm rooting for Eli, New Orleans boy. Shout out. And, the Bills, actually like the Bills too. Rough game. But, the wild card spot isn't that out of reach. So, good luck, guys.
Yeah,
good luck to both teams.
Good luck.
Good luck.
I think right before we put it out, Tyrod Taylor is still playing well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to rule him out.
I touched on it a little bit, but maybe the NFL the coaches need to start looking to the example that Tyrod Taylor has his career where he sat behind Joe Flacco for years and
Yeah.
learned, and now he's doing his thing instead of putting our rookies and having them beat up by age 26.
Yeah.
So,
And I think we could
you know,
almost say that every week. It's like, well, I still like Tyrod Taylor. I still like him. I still like
yeah,
him.
I do too. He's winning me football games in my fantasy league.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see.
To Tyrod.
Hey, let's do that to Tyrod and Eli, the
All
scam
right.
and the whole fucking game. I don't know.
Right.
Anyway, links in the description. Facebook, Twitter,